A costly mistake spoils a really strong effort from the Broncos as they fall 28-24 to the Kansas City Chiefs and wrap up the season at 7-10. Hello, and thank you for joining us for the Broncos Postgame Show. I am Phil Milani. This game, a lot like the Broncos season, a lot of positives, a lot of good things to talk about, but ultimately not quite good enough. Broncos couldn't quite get the job done today as they lose their 13th consecutive game to the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's show you how things unfolded at Empower Field at Mile High. The Broncos down 7 in the first, looking for a spark. Hey, open up the playbook. Courtland Sutton to Noah Fant. Sutton's second completion of his career. He's using his arm. Drew Lock using his legs. Why not? 5-yard scramble ties things up at 7. Lock holding on to that ball. Next possession, let's do it again. This time it's 23 yards. Lock's 5th rushing touchdown of his career. The Broncos showing a lot of fight in this one. Went to the locker room up 14-10. But the Chiefs are gonna chief. This Broncos defense was missing starters like Pat Surtain II, Kareem Jackson, Ronald Darby. And here Jared McKinnon breaks a few tackles. Chiefs regain the lead 17-14. Denver not backing down though. Melvin Gordon, his contract wrapping up after this game. A 47-yard score, his 8th rushing touchdown of the season. The Broncos back out in front 21-17. After a Chiefs field goal, the Broncos driving, and this is where this game turned around. It was a 10-play drive. Looked like they were going in for another score. So much good, but Melvin Ingram blows it up. Nick Bolton scoops and scores an 86-yard return, the longest fumble recovery in the NFL this season. The Chiefs add a 2-point conversion, and they go back up in front 28-21. The Broncos respond. A Jerry Jeudy sighting on 3rd down, a 28-yard gain. This game was crazy. The Broncos on 2nd and goal. Lock looking for Tim Patrick, who had a heck of a game in double coverage there. Would have been a tough grab, but take a look on the other side of the field. Jeudy wide open. The Broncos elect to go for a field goal, so they trail 28-24. They need a stop, hoping to get the ball back on 3rd and 8. Who else would this be? Travis Kelce. The Broncos go on to lose 28-24 the final. Let's go out to the stadium and check in with our A-team, Alexis Perry and Eric Toa.
Thanks so much, Phil. Eric, the Broncos, they made this one interesting up against the Chiefs. They had a 1-point lead up until that fumble by Melvin Gordon. All in all, what does this showing say about the heart of this team, even out of playoff contention?
I mean, they fought hard, and it's not just that they're out of playoff contention. They were missing a lot of guys. You've got offensive line starters who are out. 3 of the 5 starting guys in the secondary were out. Obviously, you're missing people at linebacker like you have been all season. So impressive that they fought. Like you mentioned, they had a chance there. They had the ball and the lead in the 4th quarter, but just these big plays keep going against them. And you mentioned the Melvin Gordon one there. Came back to bite them.
Well, defensively, they did come up with a few big plays throughout this game. Who really stood out to you today throughout this performance? Yeah,
I was impressed by Michael Ojemudia. I think he's a guy that stands out more than anybody else. A couple of big pass breakups. They were asking a lot of these guys in the secondary, because you don't have Pat Surtain, you don't have Ronald Darby, you don't have Kareem Jackson, and these guys filled in and they played well, and they limited Mahomes. You can never quite stop him, but you did enough today where you're able to limit him. Impressive performance by that group back there.
Overall, a pretty impressive performance by this Broncos offense. Drew Lock with 2 rushing touchdowns today. What did you like about their showing?
Yeah, well, Drew, I thought those rushing touchdowns showed his grit. He was able to make plays with his legs. This is what you would have liked to see a few weeks ago, kind of why they ran that read option play. But the other thing I liked, the offense opened up a little bit, took some deep shots down the field. Saw Tim Patrick get in space. You saw a deep throw to Jerry Jeudy. Just worked a little bit better, and Teddy, they were able to move the ball and score points, but today with Drew, they just had that explosive element that I think helped, and they were able to score a few touchdowns, just wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, overall a pretty decent performance here from the Denver Broncos, but not enough to end the streak as they have now lost 13 straight games to the Kansas City Chiefs. So what are you looking forward to this offseason as George Paton looks to get this team back to its historically winning ways?
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton, and we'll see what happens in the coming days, weeks, months, but I do think that you need to figure out how to get elevated quarterback play. And it's nothing against Teddy, it's nothing against Drew, but whether it's from one of those guys, somebody else, you've got to get better play at the game's most important position. And then they've just got to find a way on the field to make these big plays. It seems like all these close losses have come down to 1, 2, 3 plays. Saw it tonight with the Melvin Gordon fumble. The Broncos just have to find a way to put themselves in position, whether it's scheme, whether it's players, to make those plays.
Well, this wasn't the way we wish the season would have ended. However, looking forward to brighter days ahead, Eric. Thank you so much. Phil, let's send it back to you.
Thank you very much, guys. The Broncos showing a lot of fight in this one for a long time. It looked like this might have been the game where the Broncos snapped that skid to Kansas City. Instead, it's a 13th straight loss to the Chiefs. Let's go out to the podium and hear from Broncos head coach Vic Fangio.
Yeah, my main emotion is really proud of our players. You know, that's a team that may win it all. They're obviously won a lot of games the last 4 or 5 years since Mahomes taken over. Those guys went out there and fought them and competed with them, and, you know, we had a chance to win that game. But not winning it is the bottom line, and we didn't get it done. But I'm extremely proud of our players and proud to be associated with them.
Well, we'll find out more about the direction the Broncos are heading in this week. Sure to be a busy offseason for the Broncos, including at the quarterback position. Drew Lock today getting his 3rd start of the season and facing his hometown team, the Kansas City Chiefs. The 4th time that he's playing the Chiefs, and he's still looking for his first win. Drew Lock, 12 of 24, 162 yards in the air. Did most of his damage with his legs, scoring 2 touchdowns. He had 4 carries for 35 yards. He preached so much about protecting the football as a starter here. He did not throw a pick the last 3 games. Ultimately, though, it comes down to winning, and Drew Lock unable to do that in his 3 starts at the end of this season. He still feels like he's a starter in this league. He was asked if he did enough to prove it.
Winning is winning in this league, and you always want to win. We didn't get that done today. That's the most important thing to me, and quite frankly, that's what pisses me off, is that we didn't get the win today. I felt like, you know, with the play of myself and the guys around me, we put ourselves in a good position to get a win today. We didn't finish it, but, you know, I do feel like you put me out there, there's not a play you can't run with me. I can make a throw here, I can make a throw there. I was waiting for the opportunity to show you guys that I can run around, and they gave it to me today. That's not a surprise to me. I can go into a locker room and have fun with these guys and, you know, fire them up, get them ready to play, and I feel like that's exactly what we saw today out there.
One thing's for sure, when Drew Lock is the starting quarterback, a lot more explosive plays. That was definitely evident against the Chiefs. His top target in this one, Tim Patrick, 6 catches for 95 yards. The long one, 31 yards to Tim Patrick. The Broncos able to move the ball considerably through the air. They also saw the return of the running game, 191 yards rushing. Melvin Gordon, we'll see what his future holds. He says he wants to be back in Denver. He had 12 carries, 110 yards, and a touchdown. Javonte Williams, what a rookie year. 12 carries, 46 yards. Not bad considering the Broncos offensive line was missing 3 of its week 1 starters. Let's go back out to the stadium and check in with Sidney Jones, who's standing by with one of those starters, Garett Bolles.
Garett, in a game where there were really no playoff implications here for the Broncos, you guys went out and played your heart out. What does it say? What does that effort say about some of the guys that you guys have in the locker room here?
Well, we have tremendous players in this locker room. I think this team's one of the closest teams I've ever been around. I think guys want to win. Guys want to change this program around. You know, we've had so many greats that come through this organization, you know, Hall of Famers to guys that are big-time names in the NFL. And so we know that passion that they bring and the passion that they come around and they give to us. And so we just try to make everyone proud. You know, we have an amazing fan base that pushes us every single day. So shout out to all those people that came through all the games. The stadium rocks for a reason, and because, you know, they give us the fuel and they give us that fire to go out there and do what we have to do to try to win football games. But I love all these guys, man. I'm really close to a lot of them, and I know this program's going to be in the right direction.
You know, the offense, they found their rhythm today. You know, the run game got back on track, got the passing game going. What did you like about the offense performance today?
Like I said, the offensive line, I think, stepped up. Guys came in, Moody, Quinn Miners, and then, Bobby, had an injury. So hopefully he's okay. But Cam stepped in big time today for us, the last minute, not getting any reps all week and just coming in. But, us five up front, we battled. We have one of the best O-line coaches in football with Coach Munchak and Coach Coop, and those guys get us ready every single week. But I thought Juke played phenomenal. Our backs hit the holes right. Our receivers were on it. We just wanted to win. We were tired of losing against the Chiefs, and we wanted to put pressure on them. And that's exactly what we did. We came up short today, but I know as we continue to battle like we are, this thing's going to turn around.
Last one for you, Garett. From the start of the season to now, what did you think about your progress throughout the year?
I thought I played good. Like I said, there's games where I'm not proud of myself, but at the same time, I thought I finished strong. That's all that matters. My quotas, doesn't matter how you start, it matters how you finish. Goes to me, goes to the whole team, and that's how we are, man. We're a very, fighty group. We go out there and we give it our all, and we lay it on the line, and sometimes we come up short, but I'm very proud of myself. I'm very proud of everyone besides me. All my teammates push me to who I am and make me the player I am today. So even the guys that they don't get the dress that are our scout team guys, I give all the props to them because they get me ready every single week. So I love each one of them. AP and Pita and all those guys that push me to a whole nother level. And so I'm very thankful for all those guys.
Appreciate your time, Garett. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you very much, Sydney. We could talk about the other side of the ball a little bit here. Once again, the Broncos giving Patrick Mahomes and this Chiefs offense some trouble. The Chiefs only scored 20 points on offense, able to get under the skin of Mahomes, although he did throw for 270 yards and 2 touchdowns. McCole Hardman also crossing the century mark in receiving yards. But this Broncos defense was missing a lot of starters and still did quite a good job. Let's go back and hear from the Broncos locker room. Matt Boyer standing by with Bradley Chubb.
Bradley, that first half, you guys kind of got onto a roll, got some momentum. Second half, the Chiefs take some advantages of certain situations. Where did you feel like the momentum turned, or what was the difference there in that second half?
I don't really feel like it was much of a difference. They just made one more big play than we did. But at the end of the day, man, everybody fought hard, I feel like, towards the end. And unfortunately, their streak of winning goes on, and we didn't finish the season how we wanted to. But,
you guys will likely finish as a top 5 scoring defense this year. But I know the record's not what you want it to be. How do you internalize both of those things and looking back on 2021?
You just got to build on it, you know what I mean? You just got to see it and use that as motivation because at the end of the day, man, we could go out there and do whatever we need to do for this team, and we just got to make sure we're doing it all together on both sides of the ball and special teams as well. Just everybody working together as one, and we see that we could put the product on the field, so all we got to do is go out there and do it now.
When you look towards 2022 now, what's the message to this team as a leader? You, Cortland, Tim, Justin, Shelby on defense, you, Justin, and Shelby on defense specifically. What's the message to the defense and to this team as a whole as you look towards 2022 and what to build off of?
Just don't stop, man. I feel like that's our main thing. We got to carry this momentum that we had, like I said, the top 5 scoring defense or whatever, to carry that into 2022. And as a team, man, we just got to we've seen for my past 4 years how close we are in so many games, and the message would be just to every rep you do in the offseason, every sprint you do in the offseason, just make sure it counts towards getting that 1 extra inch, that 1 extra yard, that 1 extra whatever we need to change these losses into wins.
Bradley, appreciate the time. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Matt. Time to wrap up the postgame show now. The Broncos losing 28-24 to the Kansas City Chiefs. They wrap up the season at 7-10, and it's the 6th consecutive year outside of the playoffs, the 5th consecutive year with a losing record. And in Broncos country, that will not cut it. We hope that you've enjoyed these postgame shows. It's been a lot of fun hanging out in studio with Todd Davis. Wish we could have brought you a few more wins, though. The Broncos wrapping up, like I mentioned, at 7-10. So for one final time, we're signing off. The Broncos lose 28-24 to the Chiefs. That's going to do it for us. I am Phil Milani, and this has been the Broncos Postgame Show.